My brother is a professor of medicine. I trusted doctors like I trusted my own parents. I trusted the medical community. I don't any longer. They've lost my trust.
Yep. Now you trust Joe Rogan and Donald Trump. Yeah. Now we trust podcasters who have every vested interest in lying to you about things in order to make more ad revenue and to sell you more products for whatever vitamin boost or whatever.
Okay.
If you want to talk about lockdowns and them being good or bad, I think at this point, I think the evidence is out that the lockdowns were probably too aggressive. I think most people agree with that. The issue isn't debating whether or not they were good or bad. It's that you conservatives assume that they were done maliciously. The entire world came together to maliciously lock. It's not irrelevant.
You know what?
The motivation for why you.
I don't give a damn if it was malicious. It ruined societies. It ruined children's lives. You
don't think the intention of a policy matters when it comes to trusting them in the future? You don't think knowing if they were acting maliciously or not isn't important in deciding if you would trust them?
No, and by the way, well, I will say this with regard to the vaccines and the fact that they were not tested and they were unleashed upon people and that they told children, they still told little babies should get these vaccines when babies aren't dying of COVID. I think there was an element of maliciousness, not in the sense of we want to hurt people, but we want to have the profits that Big Pharma enables us to have, because Big Pharma, let me ask you, do you think Big Pharma has only the interest of the public in mind?
I'm a liberal capitalist. I think that Big Pharma has the interest of making money. The goal is the FDA and the government to regulate, to make sure that they're adhering to what they're supposed to do. Now, if you want to take the position, that every corporation around the world that would have had plenty of investment in calling this out, by the way, why didn't J&J say that the mRNA vaccines were rigged? If you want to say that every academic institution across the entire world, especially in other countries, weren't calling out the horribleness of the mRNA vaccines, and if you want to make the argument that every country in the world, even those that didn't utilize our vaccines, like China, Russia, Iran, and Qatar, they would have every incentive to say, by the way, those mRNA vaccines are killing Americans. It's strange that all of these people seem to be silent on this issue, but thank God we've got Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson to tell us about how corrupt, and Brett Weinstein to tell us how corrupt, I guess, Big Pharma is. I thought that conservatives used to be proud of large American businesses. This was an operation under warp speed from Donald Trump, a Donald Trump warp speed, a globalist capitalist thing that Americans should be proud of, but we can't even take pride in it because you're so conspiracy brained on it now.
The issue is not conspiracy brained, and sometimes there really are. Look, I will admit to you, I defended the Big Pharma nearly all of my broadcast career. I have been awakened to the corruption that is now involved. I'm sorry to say.
You've been awakened to something called audience capture. I think audience capture is what we awakened to.